Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman continue their awesome action-packed magnum opus as Knull takes to the battlefield himself to dole out some pain to Thor and the other surviving heroes, but hope is on the horizon for our heroes in the form of a surprising new character to the story. Donny Cates continues to tell just a wonderful story, with this issue no doubt satisfying everyone's want and need for brutal action. While the overall plot doesn't progress a huge amount, the little tidbits we got about Dylan's power source and the new hero who might just be the key to stopping Knull's symbiote shield around the world were really awesome, and in the case of the new character brought into the book, surprising, mainly since it took this long for it to happen. I really enjoyed the character's narration of the whole issue and the story of light and dark and how there's always a balance. It's that classic good versus evil story. Cates bringing Thor into the story as well is so good, and I love that we're getting all the stuff he's been doing so far and had a hand in writing or expanding on, like the All Black Sword, coming together in this huge grand story. Being this issue was 90% action, Ryan Stegman delivered some really awesome panels and battles within those panels. His design work for the series has been top notch, and here we get some really awesome things like Iron Man controlled symbiote Celestials just towering over New York as they battle one another. The scale he draws at is just so good in this series, and it goes a long way to sell this epic nature of the story and this scope that Donny Cates has with all of his stories kind of connecting up into this. King in Black issue 3 was another really awesome installment in Donny Cates' years in the making storyline, and while not much happened to expand the major plot points, we get some really well done action and some surprise character appearances that look to expand the story even more and bring everything Donny has done in the last few years at Marvel into the story and make it matter. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. King in Black issue 3 sees a being racing through the darkened and dead space towards Earth, feeling that despite the darkness and death and joyless he feels, there is something above all of that, ringing through their senses, and that is the unbearable sorrow of a now fatherless boy. Blade and Sue meanwhile battle the Knull-infected X-Men, as Sue contacts Reed, knowing her husband needs to do something now since she and Blade can't hold back the Horde forever. Blade recovers the drive that Eddie gave Dylan, which, while encrypted, shows Reed where Dylan's energy comes from and how it's being pulled by something not of this world, and the signature is very familiar to him. Sue breaks him from his thoughts as Spider-Man tells Dylan that he doesn't have to do this, and if he declines to, he will support the boy. Reed tells the gathered heroes that the mission above all else is to protect Dylan, since he is the key to free the world. Reed details how Wolverine and Spider-Man will escort Dylan along with the vampires and Blade, and should Yancey Street fall, Xavier is to keep them all connected via telepathic link. The team get ready and Dylan lets his powers take over, knowing that he needs to hurt something. The team leave the base, battling through the hordes as Spider-Man reminds the group the symbiotes have innocent people inside, so they need to be careful until Dylan can free them. Soon the infected Captain America confronts Dylan, throwing his symbiote-covered shield, which Dylan easily catches, blowing the symbiote from it. He tells Cap that he's borrowing the shield as the infected hero jumps at him. Dylan knows that Knull is watching him through the hero, hoping that he'll feel this as he blows the symbiote off the hero, hurting Knull in the process, but revealing to the villain where they are. Knull attacks Dylan, growing a giant hand from the ground and grabbing a heap of symbiotes to drop on the heroes, but before he can, lightning blows apart the hand, also hurting Knull's own hand. The lightning came from Thor, who joins Dylan, asking the boy what he needs. Dylan tells him to back him up and provide a little thunder, something the god is more than happy to do. Together, Thor and Dylan blast apart the symbiotes, freeing many people and some heroes. Knull, unimpressed with the hero's work, leaps from his throne and confronts Thor himself, who goads the villain, saying he drunkenly killed one of Knull's dragons once. Knull remembers the little god, knowing that while he killed one of his children, he's not faced the god of the void. Thor tells him to be quiet, not impressed with his self-appointed titles, as engages the villain in battle, wanting to teach him what his words truly mean. Thor and Knull battle across the destroyed city, but Knull proves to be too much for Thor, strangling the god of thunder as Dylan tries to stop him. The villain blasts the boy into a pool of symbiotes, saying that he's had enough of his insolence and wants him to see the heroes flail and die before they are consumed by the horde that will also take Dylan. Dylan is taken by the symbiotes, unable to control them, as Null says Earth is his and he won't be stopped. Thor comes back saying that Midgard is under his protection, as are the rest of the realms. He confronts the villain, saying that he's killed hundreds of beings like him that have all claimed to be the end of everything. Thor shouts his name at Null, saying that he gets to decide when the world ends and he's had enough of Null, smashing the villain in the face with Mjolnir, shattering Null's jaw. Null, however, says that the world will burn for that as the Celestials are powered up. Reed tries to rally the heroes as Null summons the All Black, grabbing Thor and stabbing him in the back with it, telling him that he knows Thor knows the sword's pain, but now he gets the honor of being killed by its creator. Reed begins to panic, unable to get hold of Thor, as Iron Man calms him, saying that he's got this under control. Tony, using his symbiote Extremis armor and dragon, rides right into the Celestial, merging with it as he tells Reed he's going to use the Extremis dragon to override the Celestials and turn it into his new favorite armor. Tony succeeds in his plan, using the Celestial to smash around the other symbiote Celestials, as Null tells Dylan that he's the only family he has now, so he tells his son to come with him. A voice knows that there is an opposite to Null's power out there in the universe, the source of Dylan's power, and as Thor sends his ravens out to find him, the voice knows that while Null's dome still stands around the Earth, the God of Light cannot break through. However, they can, as Thor's ravens find Norrin Radd, the Black Surfer, who speeds towards Earth to help his friends.